Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stands before you with a very new topic of global politics, which is paper number 10 of the fourth semester, and the name of the topic is Redefining the Role of State in the Era of Globalization. It means in the era of globalization, what will be the role of the state? It means state will have to face globalization with a new form. So this is the topic. And before we start the topic, I want to inform my viewers that in my channel, notes of plus 2 first year, second year, first semester, second semester, third semester and fourth semester of plus 3 level are available in my channel. Just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of topic in YouTube, you will get the notes. Okay viewers? Another request I want to make you that please watch this video attentively, and in course of watching you should prepare your notes so that problem of your notes will be over. Let us start. What must be the role of state in the era of globalization? Let us start. Globalization is a modern concept. It has been originated after 1970, and the word globalization was uttered for the first time by Ronald Robertson. And the globalization is a process whose offset is to convert the fragmented world into one family, one market, one culture and one community. So, globalization is a modern concept. It wants to make the world boundaryless. So, the state which was prior to globalization, it was a traditional state. It cannot face the process of globalization. To face globalization, the state must have a different type of role. The state must play an important role. That is why it is said, our runaway world does not need a less government but more government. In the present time, to face globalization, state must have greater role, it must have greater power. So, in the age of globalization, what must be the power of state? We have categorized 7 types of powers state must exercise so that state can face globalization. The first power, the first role which the state must have, that is transforming to global functions. The state in the age of globalization should transform its function to global function. It should not be within its own territory. Rather, it should have some global functions. Otherwise, it cannot face globalization. So, what global function it has? It must have number 1. Establishment of a framework where private enterprise can function and prosper in a better way. The function of state is to provide a framework where private enterprise can function and prosper. Number 2. Stress for debureaucratization, decentralization and deregulation, so state and non-state actors work for social development. State must have debureaucratization, deregulation, decentralization, so that state and non-state actors can play a better role. Number 3, acting of state as a linking pin for increased flow of capital, labor, goods and information. In globalization, capital, goods, informations, labor will come from different part of the world. So state will have to function as a linking pin. State must have to bring coordination among them. Number 4, speed up decision-making process and attract global forces to work for national development. State should speed up its decision-making process and it should invite global forces to work for national development. Now 5. Establish even playing field. Establish even playing field and provide a mechanism to solve disputes and reconciliation of rival cultures. The state should try to establish even playing field. It must have same type of rules for all. Again, it should provide a mechanism to solve disputes and reconciliation of rival culture. The state should solve disputes among different agencies and it should bring about a reconciliation among rival cultures, because in globalization different type of cultures will come, different type of people will come. So it is the function of state to solve disputes among them and to have a reconcile rival cultural rivalries. Number 6. Function in a democratic way. The state should function in a democratic way and it should implement following things. Number 1. Rule of law. It should see application of rule of law. Law should rule. Strong institution for governance. State should rule strongly. Legal framework for economic activity. For economic activity, state should provide a legal framework. In independent judiciary, state should make judiciary independent. An equitable tax system, state should make a tax system which would be equal for all. Private public partnership, state should promote private public partnership. Price stability, state should work for to maintain stability in price. Open and competitive economic environment, state should create open and competitive economic environment where every person, every organization will compete. It should be open. Then techno infrastructural development, state should try to promote technological development, infrastructural development. It should support constructive endeavors and people's centered growth. It should promote constructive development and people oriented programs. Finally, give equal emphasis to economic growth as well as growth in education, health, human rights and reduction of poverty. State should not only concentrate to economic development only, it should work for development in the field of education, health, human rights and eradication of poverty. So the first function of the state in the era of globalization, it should see its global function. Transforming to global function, state should try to promote global function, state should try to carry out global function. Number 2, creating an environment to attract private sectors. Another important step in globalization state should make is that creating an environment to attract private enterprises. So what it will have to make for private enterprises? Private sector should be invited to participate in economic growth. Private sector should be invited to participate in economic development. Number 2, it must provide a legal framework for them to operate, to act and arbiter and prepare rules for their operation. It should provide a framework where private enterprise will function, it will make rule for them, it will give safety to them. Otherwise, private enterprise will not come. Number 3, establish favorable investment climate. Control inflation to facilitate investment and attract foreign direct investment. State should take steps. The state should provide an environment where private enterprise will come. State should control inflation, so private enterprise will come. And state should encourage foreign direct investment, FDI. And number 4, establish favorable and social and economic environment where private enterprise can flourish. It will provide a favorable environment where private enterprise will also come and they will flourish, develop. Then people will be encouraged to open business and credit facility should be given credit facility. People also be encouraged to open business and credit facility should also be given so that people will start business. Then special mechanism will be established to consult with the representative of private enterprise. States should establish specialized agencies who will make discussion with the private enterprise so that private enterprise will come. States should have specialized agencies to deal with private enterprise. So this is the second important new type of function of the state. Number 3, fostering partnership between state and civil society. Another function of the state, it should promote partnership between state and civil society. Number 1, civil society should be encouraged to solve local problems. Civil society should be encouraged to solve local problems. Number 2, civil society should encourage citizens in one hand, and state should give chance to citizens in participation in decision-making process. Civil society should encourage citizens to take part in decision-making process, and state will create an environment where people will also participate in decision-making process. Okay, very good. Number 3, there should be good relationship between people and civil servants. There must be good relationship between people and civil servants. Number 4, state should be accountable to people. State should be accountable to people, answerable to people. Number 5, state institutions should work friendly with people, not to act repressive manner. State institutions should work with people friendly. They should not be autocrat. They should not be repressive. Okay? Then number 4, reforming institutional frameworks. The state should bring about some reforms in institutional framework. First of all, judiciary will have to make independent. Number 2, executive power of the executive must be controlled. Number 3, legislature should act in such a way that people's problem can be expressed in the legislature. Okay? Then there should be good link between people and the representative of policy proposal and policy legislation. There should be good relationship between people and their representative in the field of policy proposal and policy legislation. Number 3, there must be effective check and balance among organs of government. No doubt government has 3 organs, executive, legislative, judiciary. There must be check and balance among these governments so that no one can become autocrat. And number 4, bureaucratic system should be open and not closed to face new challenges. Bureaucratic system should be open, not closed, so that it can face globalization. Then state should come forward to important change. State should come forward to implement changes. State should come forward to implement changes. Number 6, civil servant should play an important role. Civil servants should play an important role. They should make people aware about their rights. Then they should protect the rights of the people. Again, they should maintain order in the society and protect people from market forces. The function of civil servant is to protect people from the market forces. Then number 5th, strategy for human resource development. Strategy for human resource development means in an organization, people are important. So, without development people, an organization cannot function. So, strategy for human resource development. What strategy state will have to adopt? Negotiating skills should be developed among leaders. Because in every country leaders are found, they will have to negotiate with leaders of other country. So negotiating skills among leaders will have to be developed. Number 2, knowledge about international law should be given to leaders. Leaders should be taught about international laws. They should have knowledge about international laws so that they cannot face leaders of the foreign countries. Then skill in public sector should be developed. In public sectors and public servants, their skills should be developed. And the 6th one is resource mobilization and financial management. It means for the development, resource is important. So it is the function of the state to see how resources will be collected. Number 2, how the resources will be mobilized in a better way. And number 3, how resources will be collected through a better tax system. And tax base should be enlarged. Finally, innovation and information technology. So what the state should have role in the field of innovation and information technology. Information innovation means to develop. Information technology means to store data, to collect data from different spheres, and to supply data. So what role state must have in the field of innovation and information technology? Government should adopt and implement IT technology. Government should adopt IT technology. It should collect reliable data and timely data for policymaking. It should collect reliable data and timely data, which the IT technology can give. Number two, IT training will be given to public servants to increase their efficiency. Public servants, civil servants should be given skill in IT technology so that they can face new challenge. Finally, people will be given information by IT methods. People should be given information by IT methods. So, as globalization is a new type of force, the traditional state cannot face it. So, in order to face globalization, state must have a different type of role. This is what redefining role of state in the era of globalization. If state will not have a different type of role, then the disadvantages of globalization will be more than its advantages. Thank you, viewers. Again, we will be here with another video. I request you to make best use of this video. Subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed, and request your friends to subscribe the same so that students will be benefited, because I have already told you, help to your friends is service to God. Thank you. Again, we will be here with another video. Till now, goodbye to all.